Hello, Hendrik. It's great to be here with you in Bern, Switzerland at the Data Community Conference 2024. Let's dive straight into the topic of AI. So, the adoption of AI and large learning models, LLMs, in organizations is really remarkable these days. But also there is a challenge that many people are using AI tools without any kind of oversight or control. And, based on the legislations where we are in the EU and surrounding areas, it can be quite challenging from a legal perspective. So what do you use, in your view, the way that organization should be adopting AI? What are the challenges that they're facing and so on?
Okay, yeah, there are many challenges enterprises are facing, and one of the most challenging things is, of course, the regulations. For example, GDPR or the AI Act, which is pretty new right now. So companies have to care about what regulations there are, and then how to technically implement them. And that's a tough question, so people can't just use ChatGPT without caring about what is with my data. And it's also regulations, but also sensitive information from the internal company, which you need to protect. You don't want that some AI trains based on your very sensitive data. That's one thing, and the other thing is how to implement it effectively and in a costly manner, so that you really know which people need AI, in which sense they need to use it, and how to control all this in the enterprise. That are the challenges.
So, you just touched base on the critical, let's say, issues like data privacy, regulations, and so on, compliance. And this can be external, as you say, it's for regulations coming from the EU or specific country data privacy laws, or this can be also internally driven by the organization, right? I mean, some may tag files in a specific way for confidential data, business-only use, and so on. And can you explain what is your solution, Varios AI, and how it helps organizations tackle those challenges effectively?
Yeah, of course. Varios AI is kind of an orchestrator for use of artificial intelligence. We are like a proxy server, so your requests come directly to us, and we then have a look at the requests. So we have a look at the data, we have a data loss prevention in place that detects sensitive information or GDPR-related information, so we can encrypt and pseudonymize data that you do not want to be sent to a public AI, for example. What we also do is we let you flexibly choose which AI you want to use. So you can use public models like OpenAI, but you also can use local models on own hardware. And with our solution, our orchestrator, you can decide which employees are allowed to use which AI with which data. So you have full control as an enterprise over the usage of AI in your enterprise.
All right, so as you just say, the landscape is really evolving in a very fast-paced way, and we see, new AI model being introduced. You have organizations who want to use local models. You may have various flavors which are tailored to do different things. So how do you make sense of all of that complexity? You said your solution is orchestrating, so how do you help that happen in practice?
Yeah, very important is the flexibility, that you do not lock into one vendor or one solution, because it might be outdated in 1 year, or you might have cost rising, or you can catch all of your use cases. So it's very important as a company that you always be open to the technology, but so that the data stays in-house and you can use any technology out there. And Varios AI emphasizes exactly this. You can steer directly who can use it, with which technology. You can orchestrate the usage, you can report who uses it in which manner. So you can even measure and return on investment to see, okay, people are more efficient if they use it or if they use it not. So you can really emphasize all of the advantages from artificial intelligence with holding the regulations and protecting the sensitive data, yes.
So, we were doing a demo recently together, and you were showing, a bit more details into that around, policy-based access, cost control, fine-tuning that you can do there. Can you say maybe a bit on that before we move to the next topic?
Was fine-tuning? Can you explain exactly?
So not fine-tuning in the sense of fine-tuning for AI, but more the way you can granularly set up, who uses a specific model, what settings, etc.
Yeah, that's some kind of policies we implemented.
Yes.
So you build an assistant and you can configure which users are allowed to use this assistant. You can control which AI is used by the assistant, and then you can add different sources of data which can be used with it. So you have a detailed control over exactly these measures. So which data, which control, which AI, which people. and can set all these rights on a role-based access control inside our solution.
And one of the things that was really interesting is you were showing how you can very easily integrate with public cloud. So what is if I was to sum it up very quickly, does it take a long time, to set that up, or is that?
No, it's pretty easy. We have some SaaS services already implemented, like Atlassian tools or GitHub or Microsoft 365, where data can rely, where you may ask questions to this database. But even implementing SaaS services or internal services, which we don't have right now, is not so much work. I always say if there's an API or some query language to fetch the data, then we can implement it within less than 4 hours maybe. So if a customer needs to connect to some data we don't know, we implement it for the customer.
Right, and it goes straight into the next question which I had, which was around current integrations within the product and future integrations. How do you enable organizations to look into what they already have, and how you can eventually in the future build up into that and expand the scope of the solution?
Yeah, we always are in discussions with customers how they want to use the data with AI and which kind of data it is. So in the future, we are always looking into possible solutions. For example, we have a customer who wants to search in his ticket system, so his service management to use with AI. For example, there's like ServiceNow, like the system we are right now trying to implement that. And we have lots of ideas for the future to connect all your data to the AI.
Yeah, and the thing which was really interesting, what you showed me with Office 365 and the fact that you can, look at classification tags and eventually look deep into the information that users have at hand, right?
Yeah, of course. We can detect classified information, not only personal information. So if a company uses some DLP tool, it can be Microsoft or some other vendor, we can read out the sensitivity labels and then block files to be sent to the AI. And that's possible via Microsoft 365. So we block some API requests with sensitive information, but we can also block the uploads of files based on that information.
That's really amazing. So just to sum up this conversation and looking forward to the future, first, do you see any specific development happening in AI? I know that it's a very generic question and it goes very fast. And second, if you were to sum up, the unique value proposition of Varios AI, what would you say it is?
Yeah, when I first start with uniqueness of our solution, is the flexibility, the variability to use all kind of data with all kind of generative AIs in an enterprise manner with regulations and data loss prevention. And that combination, that's unique on the market, even to that price. So it's maybe 1/3 of the price of a subscription from Copilot or ChatGPT, depending on the usage. And the other question, which direction will AI go in the future? I think it will be AI agents. In the next year coming up. So everyone will have some kind of AI agents on his desktop, which helps him doing the daily work, sending emails, Googling stuff, finding out information, automating tasks on your desktop system. So I think the next big thing in AI will be the agents for the employees.
All right. Thank you very much, Hendrik. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to be
You're
here
welcome.
with you. Thanks.